Ano yung una mong naisip when you think about change the campus, change the world? Coach Sarah, good to see you again in
Hello,
our
Pastor.
7th edition of Leadership Flow. How are you?
I'm good, Pastor Loyd. Good to see you again din po. Thank you po for inviting me again.
Excited ako sa topic natin ngayon. We're gonna talk about change the campus, change the world. And lalo na, being our campus director here, ano yung una mong naisip when you think about change the campus, change the world?
Of course, I think about the students. Yun po talaga yung una kong naisip when we say change the campus, change the world. I think about the purpose of the students. I think about, well, God-given purpose of the students, but not just students here in our nation, but even international students. Kaya nga po, change the campus, change the world.
Yeah, so we'd like to read this verse, no, and I hope mas maintindihan pa natin paano ba nakarating yung victory at this point. And you mentioned about international students. Leviticus 19:33 to 34 says there, "When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong. You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you as a native among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God." Ang naisip ko nga kagad pag nakakita ng foreigner sa Filipino, parang take advantage kagad, di ba? Can you relate to that? May mga ganun ka ba naisip na pag, ay, naku, foreigner to, dumikit tayo dyan kasi may makukuha tayo dyan?
Oh, Pastor Lloyd, I remember I had this conversation recently lang with one of our campus missionaries. And actually, hindi lang siya Pastor Lloyd sa context ng estudyante but basta may foreigner kang makita sa Pilipinas, okay, for example, yun talaga yung naiisip, what can I get from this person? What can I get from these people? Sabi nga po nung isang campus missionary na nakausap, sabi niya, sometimes it's sad, nakakalungkot, kasi when a Filipino, let's say, man or woman is seen by a foreigner, iba na agad yung naiisip ng mga tao, may kailangan yan, may nakukuha yan. So I can relate, Pastor Lloyd. I understand.
Yeah. Pero buti na lang, 1984, when Pastor Steve and Miss Deborah Merrill came, they found a church who were kind and curious, meaning they wanted to learn because, and even, for sure, dahil Amerikano sila, may mga mali silang nagagawa in terms of culture. Alam natin yung mga Amerikano, mga straight. And yet, the 1984 victory, no, they were forgiving,
Yes.
hospitable, and even when they view the world in reference to the gospel, they don't see it as first world, second world, third world. Actually, madalas politics yung view of foreigners or internationals. But we can see in the scripture, you shall not take advantage of them, number 1, dun sa verse 33. Number 2, treat him as like a Filipino, no? So as your own. And number 3, love him as yourself, like your family. And he's saying that because he is the Lord your God. Now, maraming refugees na ako, isa example ko lang, si Jesus. Papatayin lahat ng firstborn. Kaya sila lumipat. Napunta sila sa Nazareth. Can you think of other things in the Bible na naging refugees sila kaya lumipat sa ibang bansa?
I think about, Abraham and Sarah. You remember, Pastor Lloyd, nung nagpunta sila sa Egypt, di ba? Because of a famine.
Yes.
Di ba? They were refugees. Di ba po? Madami pa. Like Moses, I think. Also, Moses he became a refugee one time in his life. Di ba? He ran from crimes. Di ba?
Yeah. And so yun yung una, refugee. Lalo na ngayon, maraming wars. So, you could expect. Alam ko, yung mga Jews na tumatakbo sa World War II, many of them pumunta sa Philippines. Kaya pag nagpunta ka sa Israel, merong si Quezon, merong statue dun. In-honor sila ng Israel. And even economic reasons, so basically, kaya maraming Korean dito kasi sila magbenta ng samji, ng kanilang kultura. But even so, yung mga OFWs, madalas, karamihan ng mga church planters natin, they did not really start as church planter, but as, a disciple who works in another nation, tapos lumago yung fellowship nila and naging church. And ito na nga, and kaya tayo magkasama ngayon, Coach Sarah, kasi international student. So most probably, pagka taga-ibang bansa ka, malamang you are a leader from your nation. Kaya ka nga lumilipat dito kasi you have the capacity to remove yourself from your own country and study abroad. Kind of like us, kung makaka-aral tayo sa Amerika. So seemingly, pagbalik natin, ay leader tayo. Kind of like Bishop Manny Carlos, ay mayaman sila, nag-aaral sa US, pagbalik, leader na rito.
Actually, Pastor, yun yung maganda. Yun ang kaibahan kasi nga, di ba, ng refugees and even business people sa international students. Kasi pag sinabi mo ang refugee, they have the tendency to stay to the nation na pinuntahan nila. But the international students, they will go back, di ba, to their nation. And that's one amazing thing about international students.
And this is at the very heart of why Victory actually flourished. Kasi inalagaan ng mga, lalo na yung mga unang tao sa Victory, si Pastor Steve. Kasi kung hindi nila, hanggang ngayon nga kasama niya si Pastor Steve eh. Ibig sabihin, we did not take advantage of him, we took care of him, he took care of us. And so that is as a principle that we need to embrace as well. So, alam ko, for sure, even in Baliwag, may mga international students. I could think of a couple, even in our church, no? Parang mga, maraming Indian, probably other Asian nations din. So I guess the first point is to pray for the harvest of international students. So parang makita natin sila, parang the harvest is plenty, the workers are few. Minsan di natin makita, no? Kasi parang puro Pilipino na lang yung nakikita natin. Is that something that you wanna pray about na makita natin itong mga...
Of course, Pastor Loyd, even in our movement as Every Nation Campus, that's our heart as well. That we will see the international students. Well, actually kasi even in our campuses, yung mga campus po nang nire-reach out natin, I remember there was this campus na we met a international student, Japanese student siya, one of our campus. Nag-high school siya dito, Pastor Loyd. And ang mangyayari is he will go back to his nation once he graduated. And imagine, I think, the impact that this student will have to his nation. But the thing is, one thing I'm grateful to God for is we had the opportunity to pray for him. Kasi we did not know, may international student pala sa campus na yun. Buti na lang, one teacher reached out to us at nalaman namin, uy, may international student pala dito. And we had the opportunity to pray for that person. And that's our heart po talaga.
Yeah. I remember Every Nation Nigeria. We have delikadong lugar yan sa South Africa. But if I remember it correctly, si Pastor Louie ng Victory Batangas, maraming Nigerian students doon na disciple nila. And I think that's where Every Nation Nigeria came from. Meaning nakapag-plant tayo ng church sa Nigeria through students in Victory Batangas. No? So I think something to pray about. No? Parang there's gonna be a church planted because of, alam ko sa Palawan, di ba? Dahil Pastor Philip, we were able to plant a church in Palawan. Now we dream about even change the campus, change the world. So I'm not saying mamili tayo ng tao, pero number two, not just pray for them, befriend them, no? That take advantage of them, include them. Isipin mo kung foreigner ka, no? Ibig sabihin, wala kang pamilya, wala kang kilala. So most probably, pag sinama ka dyan sa Christmas, sama yun sa'yo, di ba?
Sama yun, Pastor Loyd. Hindi yun.
So, and of course, don't take advantage of them. Serve their needs. And we say all the time, change the campus, change the world. And I believe, even at this time, that God is bringing the world to our campuses here in Baliwag.
Yes, Pastor Loyd. Actually, yung serve their need po talaga, it's very important. Because what you've mentioned earlier, di ba, we have this mindset na kapag nakakita ka ng foreigner, nakakita tayo ng foreigner, naiisip natin, what can I get?
Dollar.
Di ba, from this person? Dollar to. Malaki to, malaki palitan, di ba? Pero, I think po that's very important na instead of thinking na what can I get from this person, let's think how can I serve this person? How can I demonstrate God to this person? Serve their needs po talaga, napakahalaga po nun.
After all, the verse said, for we are all strangers in this land.
Yes.
Tayo rin naman we are citizens of God in heaven. Citizens of heaven. And so, therefore, dapat alam din natin yung pakiramdam ng isang foreigner. So, this is how we flow in our leadership. We pray for our international students, befriend them, include them in our lives, in our holidays, serve their needs, not take advantage of them. That is how we flow in our leadership.